Welcome to First Bite, our Detroit Lions preview podcast. We are here. It is week 11 already somehow. Your Detroit Lions are 7-2, headed towards Bears week. Yes, we are entering the thick of the Lions NFC North schedule finally after just having won through the first 9 games. It's time to get into the black and blue division. My name is Jeremy Reisman. I'm the producer over at Pride of Detroit. You can find me at Detroit Online. As always, to help preview this podcast, to help be my co-captain, not even co-host, co-captain, is the senior editor of Pride of Detroit, is at Ryan_POD. It is Ryan Matthews.
Wow. Thank you, Jeremy. What a lovely introduction. Let's just get right into it. I can't wait to talk about NFC North stuff.
Let's do it. Absolutely. And to help do that, it is the Chicago Bears. So we got to get a Chicago Bears writer. That's how this whole thing works. So we've got the assistant editor over at Windy City Gridiron. You can find him at GridironBorn on Twitter. Jeff Berckes is here. Jeff, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. And congratulations, Ryan, on your promotion to co-captain. That sounds pretty impressive.
Yeah, I get to steer the ship.
Yeah, you're like the little ship wheel down at the bottom, like Dwight
right.
in The Office, though.
Yeah, it's the one on the grocery cart that doesn't actually do anything.
I thought I get to drive the boat.
Well, let's get into it, fellas. This should be, I think it's going to be a bit of an entertaining game. I think some people might think otherwise, but that's why we have Jeff here to let us know his kind of point of view of the game. And as always, we like to start with the opponent's offense first. And so, well, Justin Fields is coming back.
Yeah, exciting stuff, right? Justin Fields is back. We hope that his grip strength's there, but it can't be worse than what we saw in the last few weeks at quarterback for the Chicago Bears. So excited to get him back. Hopefully he's allowed to make some dynamic plays. He's going to be playing behind the offensive line at its healthiest state in probably the last 2 years. And so that's exciting. This is actually, I think, the first time that they have gotten pretty darn close to their original plan. They're going to be starting Lucas Patrick at center instead of Cody Whitehair, which was the plan coming into the year. But otherwise, the other 4 positions are with their starting line. Their wide receivers are healthy, and the running backs are back and healthy for the most part as well, too. So this is the healthiest that this offense has been, and hopefully they'll be able to protect Justin Fields, and hopefully he can play back to what he was doing in week 4 and 5 before he got hurt and wasn't playing very well after that.
So safe to say you were not a Tyson Bagent fan.
Well, I think that there's a little bit of too much love for Tyson Bagent from some corners of the Bears universe. I think anything different is exciting for people, and it's a fun story. But I think he got a little carried away. And the point that I try to make on our podcast is he's trying to be a backup quarterback. He's not the future. He's not the new franchise quarterback for the Chicago Bears. So please judge him as a backup quarterback trying to play in a tough spot and be the bridge until the starter gets back healthy, not this is the new franchise guy, right? And if you do that in that lens, it looks a little better.
Yeah, but if you're Jeremy Fowler, man, Tyson is going to be a quarterback in the NFL for a really long time. But Jeff, let's talk a little bit more about Fields, because I think that there was some no good, bad, and ugly Justin Fields, like in weeks 2 and 3. And then there was some really good Justin Fields, and that just so happened right before he was injured in weeks 4 and 5. Like, was there evidence to suggest that Fields in the passing offense was like turning a corner before the injury, or were weeks 4 and 5 just kind of a product of the Bears playing some pretty bad defenses?
Yeah, I mean, I think it can be both, right? I think it's always nice when you're playing teams that aren't very good. Bears came out in the beginning of the year and basically decided to scrap everything that worked in 2022. And they said, we don't want to do any of that. We're just going to throw that on the scrap heap, and we're going to rebuild the offense out of the things that Justin Fields doesn't do well. We're going to try to make him play quick game, and we're going to it was unbelievable. And I was listening to Diana Rossini, who was on a podcast a few weeks ago, talking to Todd Bowles after the Bucks played the Bears in week 2. And she's like, were you surprised that the Bears came out in the kind of offense that they did? And he's like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, I thought week 1, okay, it's just week 1. Those things happen. But, we scouted what they did and were successful at last year. That's what we prepared for. And then when they came out and did what they did, we were just like, oh, okay, this is easy to stop. So the Bears are their own worst enemy, right? And so they got into a little bit more of that. There's a little addition by subtraction with the Chase Claypool thing. Once he was off the field, you saw more receivers actually running the routes that they were supposed to do and not getting penalties and that kind of thing. So there's a little bit of like getting the right personnel on the field as it started in weeks 4 and 5. But yeah, it does help when those defenses aren't playing very well and you get some cupcakes.
So when you say maybe, they start to go back to things that the Justin Fields does well, does that mean incorporating him more back into the run game? Does that mean more deep shots? A little bit of both?
One would hope, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that those are his skill sets. That's what he's good at, is stretching the field both with his legs and with his arm. I think you saw the Raiders played a lot of man coverage against the Bears and Tyson Bagent, and so he took advantage. Tyson Bagent took advantage of that. You wouldn't see a lot of teams play a lot of man coverage against Justin Fields anymore because he'll see that and he'll just take off, right? I mean, and
Right.
he's got 25 yards before you blink. And so you're not going to see that. You're going to see more zone coverage. But yeah, Justin Fields does have the arm to stretch the field. He was great in the intermediate game last year. He hadn't really shown that yet this year. But I'd like to see some of those intermediate passes come back as well.
Jeff, is there any kind of sense in Bears universe that it might be a mistake to bring Fields back so quickly when admittedly like his grip strength might not be at 100%? Like, or is it just we need to figure out if this guy is the guy moving forward for our franchise?
Oh, I think 100% everybody's ready for Justin Fields to come back. There are going to be people that are still really excited about Tyson Bagent for whatever reason and want to see more of what we saw on Thursday night against the Panthers, which I don't know. To some people, that's really good football. And I feel like those people only watch football from like the 1940s and that's where they're based out of. But for I think most of us, you want to get Fields back because I think you want as many games as you can possibly get on film to make a proper evaluation. And this is the healthiest his surrounding cast has been. And you've rooted out Chase Claypool. You don't have to worry about whatever drama that was. And so, you're going to have the fairest evaluation that you can possibly have. There's plenty of fans that have already moved on. Plenty of fans that have already said, we're moving on from Fields, regardless of what the picks from Carolina and the Bears' own picks going to be next year. And so I'm curious to see what these last 7 games can do. For one, because I like Justin Fields. I want him to be successful in the league. I would love it if it's a navy and orange, but if it's not, I hope it's somewhere else. And so I hope that he gets these last 7 games to prove what he can be for a franchise down the line.
What do you think he can prove in these final 7 games that can win you over, or if you already are won over, the rest of the Bears fan base? Is there something I think that you think he can realistically do, or that he realistically, I guess, needs to improve upon to kind of put that on tape before the season's over?
I think the reality for the Bears is he may be fighting against really bad circumstances that have little to nothing to do with him. Mm-hmm. So he may be fighting against the fact that the Carolina Panthers may hand the Bears a top 2 pick in a draft that has 2 potentially really great quarterback prospects. And it just has an overwhelming argument to take one of those guys and reset the quarterback clock and move on. He was drafted in the last year of a regime. The GM and the head coach was fired after his rookie season. The GM comes in and basically says, he tells the world, we're going to tank. And so he, flushes the roster, tries to get the cap healthier. And so he's playing with a lot of guys that aren't in the league anymore, right? He had a very tough year. He took that on his shoulders. There was a lot of games that the only reason why the Bears were competitive was because of Justin Fields, right? And then you lose a lot of games. Okay, fine. You get that number 1 pick. And then all of a sudden, we're going to invest in you. We're going to pass on Stroud and Young and these other guys because we believe in you. And then you come out in that terrible start against Green Bay because of the offensive coordinator making some very curious decisions about what he thinks offense should look like and not building it around the skill set of your quarterback. So I don't know how much it has to do with Justin Fields and his ability. But I think that what he can prove in the last 7 games is that his play style can be sustainable. Like there were times last year when he was running really well, like he was racking up 100+ yard games, and he was getting work done on his legs in the middle of the game on the sidelines because he was like cramping up or like he was having issues. So you don't want to see your quarterback having to get in-game massages to be able to finish the game, right? So that should tell you like, well, maybe that play style is not sustainable, right? So I think that you'd like to see it all click. You have him be a weapon in the run game and be able to be successful overall in the passing game. And I think there's going to be at least a couple teams that are going to say, yeah, we want to go out and get that. And we think we can be the staff to unlock Justin Fields into the future.
Yeah, but let's talk a little bit more about the rest of the offense, Jeff, and most importantly, I think the rushing game, right? I mean, it seems to be working really well, despite the team moving on from David Montgomery in the offseason. They've been missing Khalil Herbert for half the season, but they're still 10th in rush offense DVOA. I mean, well, like who and what's been the key to the Bears being able to establish this rushing attack?
Yeah, I think that, then they've really shuffled their offensive line quite a bit. I mentioned that too. This will be their 8th starting line combination coming up. I know the Lions have done the same. They've had a lot of shuffling as well. That's not necessarily a normal thing throughout the league, but they have, I think, put together an offensive line that can run block pretty well. They did it last year too. They had an incredible, I think they were top of the league in running DVOA last year. So this isn't necessarily a surprise, but I think you see Tevin Jenkins, who I'm wearing a Tevin Jenkins t-shirt that I helped design, which is very exciting. But I think Tevin Jenkins has really shown that he can be like a star level guard in the league, like when he's healthy. And so once he came back in week 5, that's really helped. Nate Davis had a little trouble getting on the field with some personal matters, and then he had a high ankle sprain. But when he's played, he's a good football player, right? They added Darnell Wright, right tackle with the 10th overall pick in the draft. He's come out. He's got a little shoulder injury, which I'm a little worried about the Lions taking advantage of in the pass rush. But he's a good football player. He's come in. He's played really well as well. And so you've got enough pieces on this offensive line that know what they're doing. But the Bears have a really good running back stable. That like Khalil Herbert is one of the most explosive rushers that no one talks about. Unless you play fantasy football, I don't know if you know how good Khalil Herbert is, but I think as a pure running back, like running the ball, not necessarily catching the ball in the backfield, I think you should be talking about him after you talk about names like Nick Chubb, because just with the ball in his hands, he's that good. Deontay Foreman was on the scrap heap in free agency. He carried the Carolina Panthers for the second half of last year, and the Bears are like, sure, we'll take you. And
oh yeah, we're well aware, Jeff.
And then he does great, right? Like so that's very fascinating. It's a relatively cheap free agency signing. And then the Bears drafted Roschon Johnson, who again, he's also had some injury issues, but when he's been in there, he's been running hard. He's kind of, in my opinion, he's the David Montgomery replacement. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure that they even knew that they were going to be able to get him where they did in the draft. But he's more of an all-around back and like an instant team leader. So to me, that coming into the year, the strength of this team was the running back room, and they had some good run blockers in front of them. And so that's a pretty good base to build off of.
It'll be an interesting matchup here, Ryan, because the Lions obviously have one of the better run defenses in the league, but when you throw in a mobile quarterback into the situation, the one time that the Lions have really struggled this year is against a mobile quarterback in Lamar Jackson, and they were able to get all of the running game going that day. And so to me, that this seems like one of the key matchups for the Lions defense. But I kind of want to reverse the roles for you, Jeff. Let's say you're Luke Getsy this week. You're the offensive coordinator. What are you looking at on the Lions side of the ball that gives you something to like, oh, we're going to have to game plan around this or this unit or this guy?
Yeah, I mean, if I could be Luke Getsy for a day, I would turn in my resignation papers, right? So that I wouldn't have to, me in real life wouldn't have to deal with him on a day-to-day basis. But I think as an offensive coordinator, you have Justin Fields coming back, and when you call quick game, it's not very successful, right? And I think Luke Getsy comes from the school where that's how you build an offense, is you build the ship out of quick game. And you have a quarterback that doesn't really do that. And so when you play the Lions, who have a really good pass rush, that's what would worry me the most, is like, I can't really go to the thing that I want to because, my guy's not very good at it. And so if I call these deep shots, what I'm worried about is Aiden Hutchinson rounding the corner, and my quarterback has less than 100% grip strength, and he has a propensity. Justin Fields doesn't have the biggest hands in the world, so he fumbles the ball a lot anyway. And so I would worry about Justin turning the ball over with a lot of sack strips, strip sacks. Geez, got it mixed up there. And put the ball on the ground. That would be what I would worry about the most is Fields turning it over in the passing game.
Yeah, and Jeremy, I think the one other thing that we haven't really quite touched on is, have the Bears been able to keep their quarterbacks upright? And you look at some of the advanced numbers, they're 27th in adjusted sack rate, but they're like 6th in ESPN's pass block win rate. But when you think about this offense's ability to move the ball on the ground, how important is it going to be for that Lions pass rush to, get the Bears behind the sticks when it comes to, passing downs?
Yeah, no, I mean, no question, right? And Justin Fields is kind of one of those mobile quarterbacks that also has a propensity to maybe take more sacks than he should, hold on to the ball longer than he should in the Russell Wilson type of vein. But yeah, I mean, the Lions pass rush has been good at times, has been inconsistent at times. I guess I'd ask you, Jeff, like, is there a particular spot on the offensive line where you think the Bears are most vulnerable to a pass rush?
So for a chunk of the year, Larry Borum, who's the swing tackle, was filling in for Braxton Jones at left tackle.
Right.
Braxton Jones is back. He was pretty susceptible against bull rushing last year, but he's really worked on his anchor. I think he's a little better at that. Last year, he was a 5th round rookie last year. This is Braxton Jones.
Yeah.
And so they protected him a lot. And I'm not talking about chips. Yeah, sure, there was chips, but they would like roll the pocket away from him. Like they weren't asking him to do a lot of true pass sets. They were giving him pretty easy assignments. They're not doing that as much this year. They're letting him try to stand on his own. So, that's interesting to me against an elite level talent like Hutchinson. And I know you guys have other guys. It's not just about Hutchinson, but he really is the star.
At times it is kind of about Hutchinson, and that's about it. So
and so I'm curious to see what that matchup looks like. And then I alluded to Darnell Wright's left shoulder is a bit of an issue. And if you watched the film last week, the Panthers, they really went after him. And so I would worry about that a little bit. Trying to make him use that left arm in pass pro is something I'm a little worried about. And then the Bears center position is just not that good. They've got replacement level guys. So if you have anybody that can have interior rush, I would worry about that as well.
Lee McNeil, come on down. I feel like it would be a disservice if we went to break here without at least mentioning DJ Moore. So let's talk really quickly about DJ Moore, what he brings to the Bears offense, because I don't know, the Lions coach has just gushed about this guy today, talking about not only how he's got the speed, he's got the athleticism, but he's big and really, really hard to take down. So how have the Bears been utilizing that skill set?
Man, he's fun. He's so good. And I think I was the most excited of any Bears podcaster that I, in my realm anyway, about the trade. I mean, we were all excited about the trade because of what it could mean and, the future capital and all that. But the player that we got back was so impressive. And so DJ Moore is like a really good running back that runs really good routes and has really good hands. So when he gets the ball in the open field, he makes players miss, I think, at a rate that's up in the top of the league, right? And so his yards after catch are something that the Bears they're just not familiar with. Bears fans just haven't seen this in a while, right? The last good receiver was Allen Robinson, who famously was pretty low on the yak piece of things, right? He just sort of caught it and he was down instantly. And so now Moore catches it and you expect him to gain another 7 to 10 yards. So that prime vision, which I love, right? I wish all games had prime vision, right? They'll do that little yards after catch like instantly, and they'll show you like +7,
right.
And with Moore, it's amazing because every catch he makes a guy miss and he gets those added yards. So example last week, Tyson Bagent threw a ball to Moore that was 2 yards behind the line, beyond the line of scrimmage. So, you might expect a player to get 4 yards on that, right? DJ Moore gets 14, right? It's just this, like, you just get the ball in his hands. He's a running back that runs incredible routes and is fast, and he's going to just, it's a cheat code, really. It's a guy that you want on Madden because he's going to move the sticks for you. So I think it's the most talented offensive skill player that the Bears have had. I don't even know, 20 years. I mean, like, he's incredible to me.
All right, I'm gonna sneak one more in this segment, even though we're running long here. We've talked a lot about everything good with the Bears offense.
Yeah, this is fun. I didn't expect this to happen.
Why hasn't it been good?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to say Justin Fields needs to own this, and I think that there's definitely a piece of this that he deserves criticism. He's not a complete quarterback, right? I think a lot of it comes down to the offensive coordinator and the philosophy and what they think they should be running, what they think offense is, and that is a mismatch with the personnel that they have. And I know that there was some issues early on, and again, I don't want to harp on Chase Claypool, but this is a guy that was underprepared, didn't know the plays, famously like was blocking downfield on a pass play that was called multiple times, which was just a problem from the offensive coordinator,
right?
Calling the same play multiple times, but then like would continue to make the same mistake and then admitted it afterwards, like, oh, I thought it was a run play. And so he's, that player is no longer there. And so you remove some of the negatives from the offense and you remove some of those negative plays and penalties and just mental mistakes. And I think there was like this idea of like an egalitarian type offense at first. We're gonna spread the ball around. DJ Moore will get 3 targets here, and we're gonna give Darnell Mooney 3 targets, and we're gonna give Chase Claypool 3 targets. We want to make everybody happy. And it's like, why? Like, you don't get penalized for giving your best player the most targets. Just pepper DJ Moore with all the targets until teams adjust, and then that opens up for somebody else. Right. So there was like this play calling philosophy that seemed like it, was again egalitarian. It was this, like, it made sense on paper, and it isn't this lovely concept, but in reality, that's not how the NFL works. Yeah. And so I think that's part of why it hasn't worked, is that the coaching staff just doesn't really know how to use the pieces that they have, and they don't really truly understand all of the elements of modern offense.
All right, let's take a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Jeff Berckes here. We're going to switch things up, talk about the Lions offense versus the Bears defense. A lot of interesting matchups on that side of the ball as well. When we come back here on First Bite. Why didn't it go? Oh, whoops. That's the thing I wanted to go to right there. We go. Although it's got the wrong names. Whatever. What's up, everybody? Thanks for dropping by tonight. I gotta thank a bunch of people for donations. First and foremost, to the Alzheimer's Association. We had a couple big donations off air, which means they may not be watching, but either way, I want to thank them. First of all, let me go down to Silver Rush. Nope, we got that one last time. Kelly Chapman, $250 donation, says, hi, Jeremy. Thanks to you and Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, of course, for bringing my Lions fandom out of hibernation for what will hopefully be an exciting few years. Whatever you want to send to your sisters, Brolo, would be fun, because this is actually the first time, Ryan, someone, one of the incentives that we offer for a $250 donation is sending them a cameo video, which we're not an official cameo video. We don't have a cameo.
Right.
Yeah. We have free reign to send anything to this person who happens to be my sister's brother-in-law, which is why Sister Brolo.
Okay.
So, I'm willing to take suggestions. We don't need to come up with it now, but just keep it up, in chat. I might even involve you guys. So if you have a good idea. An anonymous $1 donation happened yesterday as well. An anonymous $200 donation happened yesterday, and during the stream, a $25 donation from Anonymous wants someone to write Matt Millen fanboy on their face.
Honestly though, better than writing Matt Patricia fanboy on your face.
I agree.
I would go to school tomorrow with Matt Millen fanboy on my face rather than Matt Patricia.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'll take that one. That one seems okay. I'll do it.
Okay, good. RGA in the chat said you can't click the donate link, guys.
What do you mean?
I don't know what RGA is talking about.
Yeah, you can.
I'm clicking on the link now. It's loading. It's making its way over to Tiltify. It's right there. I see it. It's working.
It does bring up a different. It looks different now. Like they updated their site, but it still
Yeah,
works.
like the interface looks different. Yeah.
It still works. What's not working? Either way, thank you for that. Let me thank a couple subscribers here on Twitch as well. Also, hi YouTube. Sorry that we never directly talk to you guys, but we see you, and sometimes we do talk to you. Darth Blod, thank you for the 7 months, says FTB. I'm going to let Jeff figure out what FTB stands for. J-Dubs, 34 months subscribed to the channel, says 34 months. Damn, almost to baby number 4. Yeah, it's 2 months away. Yevitz, 30 months subscribed to the channel, says we'll enjoy the VOD tomorrow. Thank you. Any sort of viewing is very much appreciated. Broken link on your end? The link always crashes the stream when I click? Weird. That's super weird.
Yeah,
Huh.
there was a comment earlier up here that I wanted to share with Jeff. I think he would enjoy it. It was something along the lines of like, it's so refreshing to like not hear a delusional Bears fan. So
Thanks.
a compliment, Jeff. I don't know if that's like a put down on the rest of the
Well,
fan base or what, but
I think it means that I can't go back and hang out with the Bears fan tribe, right? Because
we maybe you can talk Jeremy into deleting the stream or something. I don't know.
We'll see.
No,
We'll see how the
I do
second half goes. Steel Line, thank you for the gifting a sub to Dishnet. Woodchuck Hunter 100-bit says, took out a second mortgage on my house and bet it all on JMO over 100 yards because of Jeremy's encouraging Pride of Detroit Direct subscribers exclusive video this morning. If it hits, it's all going to charity.
How do you feel about that, Jeremy?
Everyone knows my stance on gambling on sports, so I am, even though you are basing that on my personal opinion, I'm very much against it. So don't do that. I'm sure you're joking, but yes, if you are a Pride of Detroit Direct subscriber, you did get a 6-7 minute video of me talking entirely about why I think this is going to be Jameson Williams' breakout game.
And it had to do with him putting McFlurry on his cheeseburger.
Absolutely not.
It didn't?
No.
Oh.
Prime Frog Bark, thank you for the 2 month subscribe, says, got my wife to hook up her Prime account to mine so now I can subscribe. No more ads. Hey, good job. That's smart. And it's a good reminder that if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can always just ask someone who does to steal their login just for that. Say, hey, listen, I'm not gonna order stuff with your credit card. I'm not gonna deliver prank things to your house. All I want is a free Twitch Prime subscription.
should definitely watch Reacher though with it.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yep.
That's good Prime Video.
No, it's not good. It's totally average, but it's fun.
Okay, that works. I need to watch. Have you seen Patriot? Everyone tells me Patriot's really good, and I think I saw like the first 2 episodes of it, and I really liked it, and then I forgot it existed.
Is that on Amazon?
I think it's on Amazon.
No, I have not. What I did start watching though, Jeremy, is I watched the first episode of The Curse, and my God,
I don't. Who has Showtime?
I do, just because of that.
You got it just for that.
Yeah, I did the whole Hulu add-on thing. I added Showtime. I had to do it. You wouldn't be let down if you check that out. Jeff, are you familiar? Have you heard about The Curse? It's I don't know if you know Nathan Fielder at all.
Yep, I haven't seen the show though. I don't have Showtime.
Yeah, nobody does except for me apparently. But
everyone got it for 6 months for the Dexter reboot, and then they ended their trial. And it wasn't worth it then, I'm sure, because Dexter ended in season 2, as far as I remember. Anyways, let me get back to the rest of these. Caleb Whitwer, thank you for the 18 months, says 2 babies, or whatever the kids say these days. That's right. Lions, wow. Tier 3, 50 months. 50 months, says Go Lions. Lions, wow, thank you so much for all the support since way back in the day. McMist, 2 months subscribed to the channel, says, "Go Lions. I was at the LA game. It was a blast." It sure was. That was a lot of fun. Painmaker, 43 months subscribed to the channel. And MNUFC, $50.31 donated to the Alzheimer's Association, says, "Excited for the JMO breakout game. POD Direct got me all sorts of excited." Oh boy. I'm leading people into hopefully something good, but now I'm a little afraid. By the way,
oh no, expectations.
Now MNUFC also wants me to write Oreo McDouble on my face. So let me do that real quick, and then I promise we'll get back to it so we can get Jeff out of here in a somewhat reasonable time.
Come on, Dees.
Okay, so last year,
Dees nuts.
Ryan wrote something on his face in the middle of me answering a question, but there was no explanation for why he was writing something on his face. I didn't know what he was writing. I can't see the comments. You guys didn't tell me that this was happening. And so I had zero. It was the wildest thing that I've ever seen.
Did you ever figure it out what was happening?
Well, yeah, because I think I asked you afterwards, but I was like, I don't, what's happening here?
I remember this. I remember too. I think I was I doing my face up like a cat?
Maybe. That sounds somewhat familiar, but I remember you writing on your forehead, and I was just like, what is happening?
Oh, good stuff. Well, I know, like when I invited Jeff onto the show tonight, like his first response was like, "Yeah, I can't wait for you to write wacky shit on your face."
Did you tell him what happened last week to our first bite guest?
I did not. No.
He pretty much on his own decided to join in on the fun. And one of the rewards that you can do is if you donate $100, you can get us to crack an egg on our own head. And so not only did he do that, he also shaved his face from full facial hair to just a mustache. And listen, I'm not saying that because I'm setting you up to do that. I'm just saying that was ridiculous. And I would never ask anyone to ever do that again.
My wife would not allow the beard to be shaved, but maybe the egg on the head.
No, I understand that, Jeff. I walked out of the bathroom after shaving mine into a mustache, and she said, "Oh, it's that time of year again."
By the way, I've gotten excellent at writing.
This is really good. Yeah.
Very legible.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
This is a John Mulaney bit right now, you know.
Well,
we've all made a happy birthday sign. Big ass H.
That's right.
Yeah.
You get to the end there. Fun story that I told in the Discord and also to Ryan and Chris. After the main podcast on Monday, in which I did something similar, I had a moment of weakness, also a moment of extreme exhaustion, and decided to go to Taco Bell and do a late night drive-through. What I did not remember to do is wash my face before I went. And so I had everything still written on my face. And here's the thing. I didn't remember until I was already back at home. So I had an entire interaction with a Taco Bell employee who saw this on my face, said nothing, and I just acted like nothing was going on. But she, I ran through what happened in my head, and I'm like, oh yeah, she definitely was looking at me weird, and I didn't realize why.
Probably not the weirdest thing she saw all night, though.
True.
It is a Taco Bell drive-thru. That's a great point.
Yeah.
All right, enough shenanigans. Although Woodchuck Hunter did donate another $25. Wait. Says Matt Patricia's ample bosom, which I'm not going to do. If not, Matt Patricia fanboy.
All right, I'll do it, but I'd have to go get it. So let's do the second segment, and then we can get
we'll
Jeff
hang
out of
around a
here.
little bit after,
Yeah.
and you'll do it. That seems fair. All right, let's do that. Let me pull up the rundown. That's not it. Nice, cool Vernon's. I'm just going to keep saying it. to make people mad. Did the stream break? Oh my god, why does it keep doing this? I'm going to have to re-download Streamlabs. What about on YouTube? Are you guys okay on YouTube? Chat, let me know when everything's fine. It's happened
So
like in 3 straight streams. Oh, we're good?
I'm looking at the stream, like for whatever reason, like my player keeps on dying out, and I have to like refresh, and then the stream's back on. So I think we're still up.
Okay. Okay, and chat's saying we're back, so I think we're okay. All right, we'll just get back into it. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to download Streamlabs all over again after this. All right, here we go. We were fine on YouTube, so maybe it's a Twitch thing. And we are back here on First Bite, previewing Lions Bears with Jeff Berckes of Windy City Gridiron. You can find him at GridironBorn on Twitter. Let's talk about the Lions offense versus Bears defense. Bears defense not great in a lot of statistical categories, but they've also not been exactly helped out by the offense. They have 18 giveaways on offense. So I guess how much of that would you say is to blame for some of the defensive struggles so far this year?
You know, I didn't really know that stat until I saw it in your notes, and I thought this is a setup, right? Like this is you guys wanting me to like give an excuse to the defense and say, yeah, you're right. There's a lot too many turnovers. I mean, why not have the Bears defense actually force a turnover? That would be cool. Maybe they could do that, right? The turnover differential is terrible. It's one of the worst in the league, right? Because they do give it away and they don't take it away. So that's part of my problem with the Bears defense is that they just do not take the ball away. Some of those turnovers are deep in the other territory, so that's no different than a punt. And some of the turnovers don't impact the defense at all because they just get returned for a touchdown. So, there's that, right? This defense has been overall really bad for the entire Matt Eberflus era. They set some sort of record of giving up 25 points or more every game for like some insane streak. Like they give up a lot of points. And so I don't want to give them a pass for anything. I don't think that it's because the defense, because the offense is setting them up on short fields or anything like that. I just don't think they're very good.
Okay, but from the first segment, Jeff, we been having you say good things about the Bears all podcast, so it definitely wasn't a setup. But here is something that the Bears seem to be genuinely good at: stopping the run. Right? They rank
Correct.
6th in rush defense DVOA, 7th in ESPN's run stop win rate. They're allowing the fewest yards per carry in the NFL at 3.5. How much of that has to do with like the newcomers at the second level, the linebackers that they signed in free agency, and who are some other guys that are really contributing?
Yeah, so Andrew Billings, big nose tackle, he's been fantastic. They signed him to an extension just a couple weeks ago, and he's absolutely earned it. Like he's come out, he's been really good, given a little bit of juice in the pass rush too, but he's amazing in the run game. Really like him. He's controlling that middle of the line, middle of the field. The Bears have also made some curious personnel decisions when it comes to their defensive ends. Yannick Ngakoue is a liability against the run. I'm not going to convince anybody otherwise, but a lot of the other guys they kept are actually just good run defenders. And so I think that's you're seeing that play out where the Bears are good against the run, but they're pretty bad against the pass, in part because they can't get any pressure, right? So there was a couple of choices that they could have made for a guy that brings a little bit more juice in the pass rush, or a guy that was a little bit better against the run, and they prioritized the guy in the run. We'll get to Montez Sweat in a little bit, but I think that the linebacker that you're talking about, they did invest a lot in linebackers. I'm not sure that this whole concept of trading away Roquan Smith, who now appears like he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory in Baltimore with the best landing place that he could have gone to, and then basically spending all the money that you would have spent on Roquan, on Tremaine Edmonds, and TJ Edwards. TJ Edwards is a good football player. He's making a lot of plays all over the field. He might break the tackle record for the Bears, which in part people are saying, well, that's because the defensive line is not making enough plays. they may be true to some extent, but he's making them sideline to sideline. He's making them in the backfield. He's making impact plays. He's actually one of the few guys that can get pressure on the quarterback as well. And so Edwards has been really good. I'm happy with him. Edmonds, I mean, that's a really big contract, and he's not really playing up to it, especially when you had a guy like Jack Sanborn, who was an undrafted free agent out of Wisconsin last year, stepped in, played about half the season, and looked really good. You knew what you had. So it's kind of a curious decision that they did to go out and spend all that money at linebacker. But I would say that most Bears fans would probably say they're pretty happy with the Edwards contract. They don't like the Edmonds contract. But Edwards definitely has helped out with that top 10 run defense as well.
Can you talk a little bit about Edmonds and Sanborn? Because it looks like Edmonds is maybe on track of not playing this week. I know he's missed the last, I think, 2 games. He's missed the 2 practices so far that we've seen. So what are they losing in not having Edmonds if he's not there, and what are maybe they gaining with Sanborn being out there?
I think that Sanborn, I don't know if he's a better run defender, but you definitely don't lose anything in the run game. And he's very active, and he's a smart player. So he's playing with anticipation, which you need out of a linebacker, right? Like, you can make up for a little bit of athleticism loss if you're, play with anticipation. He's not as good of an athlete, and he's not as going to be as good in pass coverage, right? Like, he can be exposed in that way. Whereas Edmonds is really long. Like, I mean, he's just wingspan, and just he's a really big, tall guy. He stands out. When you stand out amongst professional football players, like when I was in camp, you're like, whoa, who is that guy? Oh, that's Edmonds, right? That's impressive, right? So he's just big. He's kind of one of those guys where the phrase "built in a lab" gets thrown around when they talk about him, because it doesn't actually make sense what his proportions are, but that's what you miss, right? He can kind of take away that middle of the field. Not that he necessarily has done that, as well as he was doing it in Buffalo last year, but that's what he can do on paper. Whereas Sanborn has no chance of that. He's just not that good of an athlete. But again, he plays with anticipation. He's a smart player. He can make plays in the run game. He definitely has, plays like a bit of a hammer, and can lay the wood as well.
Well, Jeff, you talked a little bit about the Bears kind of prioritizing, run defense over maybe bringing some pass rush juice to the table. And yeah, the Bears are 32nd in sacks, but they're tied for 14th in quarterback knockdowns, and their pass rush win rate is pretty average. What has Montez Sweat done in the past 2 games to maybe encourage you, or what has kind of just been sideways about the Bears pass rush so far this season?
So I think in general, what's been really frustrating about the Matt Eberflus defense is that they are so uncreative, and they do not bring any kind of pressure. They want to win with 4, and when you don't have very good athletes along the defensive line, trying to win with 4 is a little silly. Now, you've seen more games being played up front, which is encouraging, right? So if you view versus the rest of the league, the Bears are starting to creep up a little higher in terms of the number of stunts that they run, which is great. If you're not going to bring anybody, if you're not going to bring 5 or 6, like, at least try to play some games. And so they're starting to do that a little bit more. And so that's good to see. Sweat he's a really good football player. He's not Aiden Hutchinson. He's not TJ Watt, right? He's not one of these super elite defensive ends that, you give all the money to. The Bears gave all the money to him, and they gave a draft pick to be able to acquire his services. I'm excited about it because he's a really good football player. One thing that I think the Bears were really attracted to is that he's an elite run defender. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, he hasn't really made any tackles since he's been here, but he does have a history of being an elite run defender. What he has brought is pressuring the quarterback, which is something that they have sadly missed, even with the signing of Yannick Ngakoue. So he had 8 pressures against Carolina. He did not record a sack, but I think he was the reason why the Bears actually recorded sacks, which we've had plenty of games this year where the Bears have recorded no sacks. And like you said, they're 32nd in the league. I think they have 13 sacks on the year off the top of my head. It's not good. They're not good at rushing the quarterback. So you hope that if you have a legit number 1 defensive end, that everybody else just slots down and they can play a little bit looser. They get a little bit more one-on-ones, more advantageous looks. And so you hope that these other guys can benefit from Sweat mixing it up a little bit more. Anything is better. I mean, we were talking about an anemic pass rush before Sweat got here. And so you can tell that you have a top flight guy coming in, he makes a big difference.
So run defense is great. maybe good. Pass protection or pass rush bad. So when you say this overall defense is bad, is it as simple as they're not getting a pass rush, they're having quarterbacks pick apart the secondary, or there are issues on the back end too? Because I know a lot of times it's marriage, right? It's a marriage between your coverage and your pass rush. Are there issues in coverage, or are most of the issues with this pass defense, which ranks 29th in DVOA? I mean, pick whatever stat you want. It's a really bad pass defense. Most of the problems stemming from that defensive front, or how do you feel about the back end of the defense as well?
Back end's also been pretty beat up, and now they're probably about as healthy as they have been all year. Yeah. So again, you're getting healthy. Both safeties have missed time. Eddie Jackson's probably on the back end of his career. I love Eddie Jackson, but you can tell he doesn't necessarily have what he had in the last few years of his career. Jaquan Brisker is really volatile. I think a lot of Bears fans were hoping he would come in and really at least be a steadying presence, a lot like Adrian Amos was for the Bears for a number of years. But he's been really volatile. Like, he'll get beat or he'll miss a tackle. He's been kind of a frustrating player, but then he has talent and he'll make some plays. The corners, Tyler Gordon's in his second year. He plays in the slot. He looks like he's starting to emerge as a real player. You've got Jalen Johnson on the outside. He's a good football player. We know he's a good football player. He wants to be paid like a good football player. We'll see if that happens. I hope the Bears are able to keep him because he could be a cornerstone. Sorry about that choice of word there. The other corner is being manned by Tyreek Stevenson, who's a rookie. Again, a lot of talent, but he's a rookie. He's making a ton of mistakes. Quarterbacks are picking on him. And so, definitely a weakness there. So I think the safeties aren't playing up to what you were hoping they would. Stevenson is going to get picked on. I think he was the most thrown at corner at one point during the year, which is not a title that you want. But it also means that most quarterbacks are like, yeah, we know Jalen Johnson's pretty good. We're going to avoid him. We're going to go to this other guy. But I think one of the things that frustrates me is, I talked about how uncreative they are in their pass rush. They're also very uncreative in the back end. They kind of just sit back in soft zones a lot, particularly early in the year. It was just so frustrating to watch them, look like, oh, they're going to get off the field here. And, oh no, they're playing a soft zone once again, and an easy pickup on third down for the offense. Right. So this sort of antiquated approach to football where, like, well, we'll just do bend but don't break. We'll just kind of sit. We'll just try to win with 4, even though we don't have the athletes. We're going to stop the run and we're going to try to run the ball well. Like, they're built to win in the 90s, and I just don't understand what's happening with that. Like, why did you make those decisions, coaching and personnel wise, to try to win 1990s football?
So Jeff, I know the kind of like well documented in terms of the defensive coordinator turnover and what happened at the beginning of the season. Has Eberflus pretty much assumed like most of those duties?
Yeah. We still don't know the full story, by the way, and I don't think we should let Eberflus and the Bears PR staff off the hook. Right? There was a lot of smoke going on there. I think we still need to know exactly what was going on there. So let's not forget that there's some unfinished business with that. But Eberflus has taken over. I do think you can see a little bit more in terms of creativity than what the first couple of weeks or the first week was. That was just all the way back in week 1 that happened, right after the week 1 game. But that's not saying much. I mean, the plan for Jordan Love. I mean, I feel like if there wasn't this personnel issue that is clearly has some sort of legal ramifications that we don't know all the details of. If not for that, Alan Williams should have been fired for performance based on his plan against Jordan Love. Like, it was one of the dumbest defensive game plans that I've ever seen in my life. Right. So you had a dumb offensive game plan and a dumb defensive game plan against your arch rival in week 1. Cool. Great way to start off the year.
So if you were building a defensive game plan to try to stop the Lions, what's the first thing that you're checking off your box? Who are you making sure this guy isn't going to beat us on Sunday?
Well, I would be a little bit worried about a David Montgomery revenge game. Mm-hmm. I will be honest with you, because I know that he's on video saying that that's who he wants to get back at this year. I saw that video. We see you, David. Like, we still love you, man, but like, we see you. We know you're mad.
He was very coy about it this week, by the way. He's like, oh no, it's just any other game.
Well, not a few weeks ago. I saw the video a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
right?
holding up the Bears logo when he was 100%.
I think for me, I mean, I think Amon-Ra, St. Brown's probably the easy answer, but if I would have Jalen Johnson shadow him. I don't care where he goes. I'm just going to put him on there. And then I'm actually a little bit more worried about Sam Laporta, right? Like that worries me a little bit, because I don't know that without Edmonds, I don't know that we have anybody that can match up. So I would worry. The safeties aren't playing as well as I would like, and I don't think that we have a linebacker that. And sorry, I keep saying we. I never do that on my podcast. The Bears don't have a linebacker that I think can match up here. So I think that he's in for, I think, what could be a pretty big game for him.
There you go. All right. Before we get out of here, we like to finish with a segment called The One Thing We Think We Know, where we make predictions about the upcoming game. Not necessarily a win-loss prediction, but maybe some stat predictions, maybe some things that you can use on parlays, things like that. And yeah, I'm talking sports betting, Ryan. I see you giving me that look. We should also point out, because it doesn't happen that often, that Ryan and I absolutely crushed it last week. Ryan predicted that it was going to be a shootout. It sure was. It was the very definition of a shootout.
I think the over cashed like 2 minutes into the third quarter.
Right. And it probably could have cashed earlier than that if the lines were better in the red zone. I predicted that the Chargers' run defense was going to get exposed as frauds, and they sure did. Man, like I don't think we had ever such enthusiastically won our One Thing We Think We Know. So now we're gonna have to follow it up, man. So I got to throw it to you first, as always, Ryan. What is the one thing you think you know about Lions Bears?
Man, nobody's gonna like this, but I think the Bears cover.
Oh,
I think they do.
What is it at? 7, 6.5, 7.5?
7.5. I know it was higher, and then the Fields news caused it to come down a little bit. But still, I think 7.5 in a rivalry game, in an NFC North game, in a game where the Lions are playing a mobile quarterback like Justin Fields. I know the last time he was at Ford Field, 7.5 points multiplied a few times wouldn't have covered that spread. But I just think that the Bears, as you know, Jeff kind of highlighted throughout the podcast, they're getting a little bit healthier. They're getting some guys back on the field. And when the guy you're getting back on the field who is going to be touching the ball the most is Justin Fields, and the history of the Lions and mobile quarterbacks, I think 7.5 is just too much. I think the Lions do win the game, but I think the Bears do cover this. Fair enough.
I'll be honest. That kind of took away mine. Mine was going to be the one thing I think I know is this game is going to be decided in the fourth quarter. I'm going to scrap that one off the books completely.
Okay.
But I'm going to need some time to think. So, Jeff, I'm going to go to you next. Jeff, what is the one thing you think you know about Lions Bears?
I just want to say that I locked it in at Bears plus 10. So, you know, it does pay to pick early.
Those are the lines.
I'll give you. I know the segment's one thing, but I'm going to give you two because Perfect. I don't want to just do a Bears homer one, but I'll do that first. I'm going to say DJ Moore over on receiving yards. Right now, I'm looking at 64.5. I would bet that over. I think that it's depressed a little bit because he's been playing with Tyson Bagent the last 4 weeks, and I don't think it's readjusted to what Justin Fields will do. And then I will give you guys one. I will say that if you can bet Justin Fields turnovers or fumble loss, which I really believe he's going to lose a fumble, or like an Aiden Hutchinson sack or whatever, like I'll take the over on that as well.
All right. I'm going to end with something a little bit more positive, even though if you are a Pride of Detroit Direct subscriber, you know I'm a little bit more nervous about this game than maybe a lot of people are. I gave 3 reasons why the Bears are probably right now better than their record suggests. Subscribe to Pride of Detroit Direct at pridedetroit.com/subscribe. But based on everything I heard from Jeff, based on everything I've seen from this Lions offense in the past 2 weeks, and we may or may not have Jonah Jackson, I don't think it matters. I'm going to say the one thing I think I know is that the Lions will score at least 30 points in this game. I think everything's rolling. I do wonder about how they are going to succeed and if they are going to succeed in the run game. And I even asked Ben Johnson today, like, when it's a strength versus strength matchup, are you the kind of person that says, all right, let's go out and prove our strength is better? Or are you going to go, let's go look at something else. Let's go see if we can find a bigger advantage somewhere else. And he kind of gave me a little bit of a loose answer, and a little in between both, but I get the sense that they're not going to back down from the run game challenge here. I think they're going to still continue to try to run the ball, and I think they're going to see at least a modicum of success. I don't think this Bears defense is impenetrable by any means, but it is going to be a little slower. I don't know if you're going to get a ton of explosive plays, but if you can get David Montgomery in a game he as you said, he's going to be highly motivated in, he can turn those 2-yard runs into 5-yard runs in a hurry, just with his physicality, and that could be enough to get yourself into favorable downs and continue to move the chains against an okay Bears defense.
Yeah, and I'll even toss out to that, right? Like, I was kind of shocked to see that David Montgomery's rushing yards at 60 plus was plus 135. That seems like a low total.
It's a good run defense. I don't know.
Anytime touchdown score, David Montgomery seems like a pretty obvious bet.
There you go. Jeff, before we let you go here, man, I want to let you take the wheel here away from Ryan. He's not the co-captain anymore. You're the co-captain. But please promote your stuff. Tell us where people can find you and maybe some of the stuff that they can read over on Windy City Gridiron.
Yeah, I write for Windy City Gridiron, which is the sister side of Pride of the Detroit. I do 10 Thoughts on the NFL weekly column where I get to talk about not Bears, which is nice. And occasionally I talk about the Lions. I used to talk about Dan Campbell's caffeine regimen quite a bit, but that's no longer as much of a joke. And now it's something that I think we all need to adapt into our daily lives to be more effective. And so, it's a good column. It's a good site. We do have Lions fans that come over there. Some of them are nice. Some of them are not so nice, but we do enjoy the interaction. I do a lot of podcasting. We're up on YouTube. Second City Gridiron is the YouTube partner for Windy City Gridiron. I do a show on Mondays with our editor, Lester A. Wiltfong, called Bare and Balanced. We run through categories and we try to give an even keel review of the game. And I'm on other shows as well, but if you want to check one out, that's probably the one to check out, because it's we try to not be as homer as some of the other shows.
And you know what? I think Lions fans who sat here and listened to the entire podcast here would agree with that. So yeah, go check them out over there and be nice, Lions fans. Come on, the Bears fans are going through stuff that we've gone through for years. No need to kick them while they're down.
Yeah, we need to save our money for therapy, I think, in the offseason.
That's right. Yeah, let's just all gang up on Acme Pack. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that either. But anyways, Jeff, appreciate the time, man. You're great. Always, I'm glad you were able to come back from last year, and maybe we'll see you in a month?
3 weeks. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the time.
Of course. All right. Thank you all for listening. For Ryan, I'm Jeremy. I keep almost saying it's no, I do say it's Chaos Be. Guys, it's Chaos Be Kind. Bye.
Recording stopped.
I'm losing my mind at the end of these podcasts for some reason. I don't know why. Jeff, man, I really do appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah,
I know we went a little bit over, so thanks for the extra time.
All good. I appreciate it, guys. And seriously, I mean this in all seriousness. Good luck. I really want to see you guys do well. I don't mind cheering for the Lions to do well. We all can agree that we don't want the Packers to do well.
That's right.
Yes.
Vikings or whatever, but I could feel the shared pain with the last few years of what these franchises going through. I hope you guys do well. Would love to see you guys make a Super Bowl. So, have fun with it.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Jeff.
Take care.
Something happened during that stream, and here's the thing. We have the alerts turned off during the interview portion. It's the only time we turn the alerts off ever is when we have a guest here so that you guys can hear the guest. We don't care if the alerts go over our voice. We know you guys are sick of our voice, but we don't want it to go over our guest's voice. But anyways, someone named Deb Reisman donated $500 to the cause.
Who's that, Jeremy?
I don't know. I can't say for sure. I do happen to have a mother whose name is Deborah.
I was gonna say don't dox her. Don't dox her right now.
And Lost Oceans with a $25 donation as well gets us well over the $13,000 mark, which means another spin on the Wheel of Pain, of course.
Oh man.
Let me see. My mom did. She redeemed write an article. I don't know if she did that on purpose, but Mom, if you want to write an article for Pride of Detroit, it's yours. Absolutely.
Awesome.
I don't know if you're still watching, but yes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
I don't know what that's going to look like. Lost Ocean also wants to write words on our face. The Lions. I have not given the package to Ryan yet. No, but I have it. Remember? I showed you a picture.
I do.
Yeah.
I do remember. Do you want me to open it, or can Jeremy open it and then just give it to me? Because I'm like kind of antsy and excited.
Either one works for me. Do you want to write something on your face now, or should we save it for the POD cast? Because you have that. We could do that. We could wait. You still have to. We still have a Matt Patricia fanboy that you have agreed to write on your face, and then there's also the Lions Lost Oceans. Do you want us to? I feel like let's save at least the Lions for next show, just because we're not going to stay here very long, because we're actually out at a time here where we can watch all of Thursday Night Football, and it's actually a good game that's worth watching.
Oh yeah, like awesome football that I'm excited to watch. Also, the spread went up in the Lions game. It's +8 now. But yeah. So here, let's do this. I will, on the POD cast, I will write Matt Patricia fanboy on my face, and I'll go to Taco Bell with it on my face.
For real?
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll record it.
Document it in some way.
Yeah, I just hope that it's I hope if nothing good comes of it, I'm not going to show it to you guys, but if somebody from Taco Bell's like, Matt Patricia, what a slob, like then we can share the video.
Right.
But can we open up that? Let's open that package.
Did we get the okay?
Yeah, they said whichever he prefers.
Okay, yeah, let me go get it.
Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Thursday Night Football. Who do we have? Ravens or Bengals? I will say, I kind of feel like taking the Bengals here.
We're gonna open
3.5 points.
Oh, sorry, I was talking over you.
No, you're good. I was just asking them who they had tonight. Bengals or Ravens?
It's a good question. I think I have the Ravens, but I don't feel great about it.
Yeah, I took the Bengals.
I'm just kind of excited to watch it. I don't know what happened to the Bengals. Who'd they lose to last week?
Houston.
Oh, that's right. All right. So this first package is for you. It's from our friends at Homage, who used to be a sponsor. They still kind of are, but aren't really. They didn't send this to us. It's just from them. I'm not sure what this is.
Woodchuck Hunter, chill out.
Oh, I think I do know what this is.
Oh, it's the Sam Laporta drawing, isn't it?
That's right. I believe it is.
Yeah, buddy. That's awesome.
The sponge monkey looking thing. I love that.
It's great. Why did Sam give it googly eyes?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you though? If they're there, you use the googly eyes.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks. I appreciate it.
This other thing, I have to search my emails to get the name of the person who sent it to us. They're an overseas fan who wanted to contribute something to Movember. And so
sweet.
This is going to be something that we raffle off. So every $20 you donate gets you a raffle ticket, which can get you a bunch of awesome prizes, including game tickets to Lions-Vikings Week 18.
Could be a lot on the line in that one.
If you want a Malik Willis signed card, signed by Ryan, not Malik Willis, that's on the line as well. There's a whole bunch of questionable tees merch that's going to be available as well. And then one care package from our friends at Righteous Felon, which I have now. And this really cool custom jersey. And I'm opening it all now so that you can see it, which feels a little bit wrong because it's an original practice. Now, I'm not necessarily in support of the black jersey, but It's a Dan Campbell.
Oh man, and it says grit.
In the circus font, and
That's
Dan Campbell on the back. It is super cool.
That's fantastic, and I hate the black jerseys.
That
is fantastic, and I hate the black jerseys.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. Like, I would absolutely wear this, even though I don't like the black jerseys. I think this is super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Grit. Really cool idea. But yeah, I'll this is going to go up on the website at some point, and I'll be sure to properly credit the fan who sent this to us. If you're watching, I'm so sorry that I don't remember your name. I'm bad with names, and I'm a bad organizer and all that sort of stuff. But it's super cool. And
it's super cool and unique, man.
Yeah, and if they like sell that sort of stuff, I'll be sure to promote it so that if you just want it, maybe you can get it. But it's super cool. So donate $20 gives you a shot at that. That's all. All right. We should probably spin. I should also probably say a bunch of thank yous to more people who subscribed during that break. Nick Coscarelli, our great friend, 55 months. One of the longest subscriptions to Pride of Detroit. 55 months, says, congratulations on Movember. You guys kill it every year. Truly a wonderful time of year. Thanks, Nick. I haven't heard from you in a long time, buddy, so I hope you're doing well. I hope you're still here. Our friend Bearded Blevins dropped by as well to give us his 37-month subscription. So 37 months, same number of points the Lions score in the first half. That'd be something.
Ooh, boy, that's a lot of points.
Let's try to hang 80 on them like we're the Bears or the Dolphins. How big are those? I forgot. I think I told him in Excel is probably the smartest. I don't remember what.
Oh, AZ Lions fan, yes.
It is in Excel.
Add JMO's meal to the wheel.
Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. Like,
it couldn't happen right there on the spot, right? Like, it'd have to happen.
I almost feel like it would be a better thing for the marathon stream, but then that would it would be impossible for me to go get it. Extreme wheel? Is it too mellow for an extreme wheel of pain?
Honestly, though, probably not really. Like, that sucks. Like, who would want to eat ice cream on a hot burger?
Here's the thing. I bet it tastes kind of good.
Well, I mean, probably, right? I mean, you're
okay. Uber Eats and DoorDash, yes, all of that is true, but you're gonna have to find a McDonald's where the McFlurry machine works. Which JMO talked about it today. He's like, yeah, I had to go like 3 times. I couldn't find. I had to go during the middle of the day because that was the only time it worked.
I would 100% be willing to do it.
I would too.
And be willing to try it.
Which is why I almost feel like it doesn't belong on the Wheel of Pain.
What if because I'm planning on, I think I told you this, Jeremy, but I'm planning on being here for the all day stream.
Yeah.
So like, what if we just planned in our day where we ordered our food, had it delivered, and we tried it on stream?
Sure. Well, how about that? We'll set a goal during the marathon stream. You hit this thing. We'll just add it to our donation. Milestones?
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah. All right, but let's spin the actual wheel. What do we want on here, Ryan? Should we even get to choose the gold $10? No.
Let me take a look at it. Did you pull it up here on stream?
Yeah. Here's what we got so far. I'll pull up our other options on my screen so that I can edit.
My stream is just so far behind. Yeah, extra pickle would be something that I think Jeremy would not like.
See, yeah, no, that's when you're getting into making it actually gross. Okay, so what's on there right now includes pickle juice, 10 up downs, eat a bug, bean boozled, spoon of wasabi. Other things we can add to it: whipped cream, eat some dog or cat food. That's kind of all I have right now.
I have saltines. Do you want to add singing the fight song with a mouthful of saltines?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Saltine Serenade.
Yeah, that's right.
There, it should be on there now. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good.
Man, my Twitch stream is so far behind.
It's
Have you
okay.
pulled the wheel up?
Yes.
I'm not even there yet.
Refresh the stream.
That's what I just did.
And it's still not up?
No. I'm waiting for it to
Okay.
load right now. But
Are you on dial-up?
yes.
You know what? I haven't shown you what I have in terms of the bug eating. I'll bring that out now just so you guys can see it.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting an ad. Ugh, this is unacceptable. Got a backdoor Bezos. Need to get my Amazon Prime back up. And God, dude, I hate that.
Crickets. And I have them in
I hate
3 different flavors this year. So salt and vinegar, sour cream and onion, and maybe the one I wouldn't say I'm eager to try, but just interested in, bacon and cheese.
All of those sound repulsive. Like I would rather go catch bugs outside and eat them than to eat
They don't look
artificially
like,
flavored bugs.
Look at that. It's pretty gross. All right.
So dumb.
Anyways. All right. I think we're ready to spin, except I accidentally closed out of the spinny wheel. Oh, no, there it is. All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Thanks, Mom. Bean Boozled again.
Wah, wah.
Do you have Bean Boozled?
I'm not Bean Boozled.
What are
I'm
you
not
doing?
Strapped. I'm not strapped.
You need to get strapped because you agreed to do it as cereal during the Extreme Wheel of Pain.
I know. I gotta order those. Send me the link.
You just Google Bean Boozled.
No, send me the link.
No, you're asking me to Google it and then send it to you, which means I'm doing an extra step. Then you could just do it on your own. You're asking me to do the extra step for no reason.
I'm on dial-up. Just send me the link.
Someone send Ryan the link so I don't have to do it.
Don't do that. Don't listen to him.
Everyone flood Ryan's DMs right now of Bean Boozled links.
You're not. That's not how this works.
All right. I got 3. The going rate for these have been 3 Bean Boozled, and so we're just going to stick with that.
I like how my going rate is a cereal bowl full of them.
Yeah. Well, that's the Extreme Wheel of Pain. That's every 10K. That's fair.
True. Old Wolf, I will tell you. Yeah, I'm feeling lazy. I'm
there you go.
overworked.
Jamich threw a link in there. All right. I'm going to start with this one because it's the worst one that they offer. And if I get the bad one, Zazu, you don't want these. We're going to start with this red one, which could either be... Do you remember what the red one can be?
No, I don't remember.
Old Bandage.
Oof.
Or pomegranate.
Is there a difference?
What? Pomegranate is an elite fruit.
Ugh, I don't know about elite, but
other than the fact that it'll stain you and it's a pain in the ass to actually get them out, the actual fruit, elite. I love the crunch and the flavor and the tartness. It's great.
Here's what's happening right now. What? Jeremy is sidestepping, doing the thing that he's been tasked to do by the Wheel of Pain. Who knows? Any second now, the stream could just cut out. And Jeremy would be like, ooh, I ate all the beans.
I ate them. Stop it.
I ate all the beans.
You stop it right now.
My name's not Jeremy, it's Jack and my beanstalk.
All right. Pomegranate or Old Bandage? Here we go.
Bandage, 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 bandage.
Yes. Pomegranate.
Ooh.
I think I was 1 for 4 so far, so now I'm up to 2 for 5.
This is where the Wheel of Pain really just falls short. There's no pain. Jeremy's thoroughly enjoying this pomegranate bean.
Here's the thing. I believe these are 2 of the exact same ones.
Yeah.
Which means Either one of these could be Stinky Socks, which I don't think I've had yet, or Tutti Frutti.
He should not bring back Bite and Onion. I know Jeremy will never do that again.
I don't think I'm going to ever do that one again. To me, it wasn't even just the bite. Like, that sat in my stomach in a very... I mean, I don't understand why, though. Like, that's... People eat raw onions all the time, but that just, like... That ruined my day. I think that was the day that we had Kent on, and, like, I couldn't even focus on the interview.
I remember that.
I was so uncomfortable. And I know some of that was the hot sauce, too, but... Anyways. Stinky Socks or Tutti Frutti. Here we go. Number 1. How's Tutti Frutti?
My goodness,
How's
guys,
Tutti Frutti?
we're down bad. 3 for 6. Jeremy
Imagine
shooting
if I go.
50%.
Imagine if I go 3 for 3, Ryan. Imagine how disappointed Chat's
gosh.
going to be, and I'm not going to be able. And you aren't going to be. We're not going to spin it again. That's not how this works.
Your hit rate will be higher than Tyson Bagent's completion percentage if you get this.
No, we're not going to respin this.
It almost already is.
I mean, $823 away. We can respin it if you want.
Oh man, oh boy.
Stinky Socks, Tutti Frutti.
Oh, you're going back to the well. That's going to be Stinky Socks.
I think that's Tutti Frutti. I don't know. It doesn't taste the same, but it doesn't taste bad.
Well, you guys heard it here first. Jeremy likes to eat stinky socks.
I don't know what to tell you guys. It's my week.
Dan, I can't believe it either. Jeremy's
You know what?
rubbing it in to after the fake up downs.
No, stop it. A one-time only offer. You get us to 13,500, I will spin it. And then spin it again once we get to 14K. So $323.
Time does football start?
8:15. Almost a full hour. One-time offer. You only have to get halfway there.
All right.
Just throwing it out there.
We'll hang out here for a second.
Okay. Yeah. And we'll answer some questions. Whatever you. I'll give you guys some time. We don't have to do it right away. You've been Bean Boozled. That's part of Bean Boozle.
Maybe not so much Bean Boozled as just, again, Jeremy likes to eat dirty socks.
I've never tried them before.
Favorite pastime.
Does anyone have any questions while we sit here and wait and see if you guys want a discounted Wheel of Pain spin? Brian, what's your concern level on a scale of 1 to 10 for Sunday?
I don't know. Like I said when we had Jeff on, I think the Lions will win the game, but I think it could potentially be closer than probably anybody's anticipating. I think there are so many people that think it's going to be, the Lions are home and it's the Bears and they suck. And, the last time Chicago came to town, it was a blowout. I definitely don't see a blowout. I don't see a blowout happening whatsoever.
I mean, I think it could happen. I think the way it happened is the offense just continues to roll in a way that it has the past 2 weeks. Now, the Bears defense to me is better than both the Raiders and the Chargers, but I do have an immense amount of confidence right now in the offense, even if Jonah Jackson isn't going to play, which it's trending in that direction. I don't think anyone should necessarily be worried about Frank, though it's never good when a back injury is on the report, but I would assume today was probably a rest date. In fact, rest was on the injury report itself, so not worried about that. Yeah. But I am curious as to how they will respond to a really good run defense. They haven't faced a lot of those this year. And when they have, it's been kind of so-so, right? Like the Bucs had a really good run defense, I think. Pretty sure they had a good run defense. And I know you lose Montgomery halfway through that game, but it wasn't moving before he left. Ravens obviously have a pretty darn good defense overall, including a run defense. Didn't go so hot that week either. But I don't know, man. I'm definitely concerned about the Lions' defense in this game, in general. Like,
okay, so let me ask you a question about that. What's the most concerning thing that can happen on Sunday? Like, say the Lions win, but like, what's something that's like, man, if that happens, I'm worried.
Well, I mean, my concern level in general for the defense is already relatively high. So like, getting torn up by Justin Fields and DJ Moore, I already think that might happen.
Right, but like, is that something where it's like, okay, like it happened last week with Herbert and Keenan Allen, and now it's happening with Justin Fields, who's just coming back from an injury, and it's DJ Moore, and like if DJ Moore goes off to the tune of like 130 yards receiving, like is that the moment where your hand starts to hover over the panic button about a guy like Cam Sutton?
Not quite, but I mean, yeah, a little bit, of course.
Because last week was his like first like
bad game,
objectively bad game,
right? No question. Yeah, I don't know. I don't ever want to like spiral into a panic, especially when the team is at worst after Sunday going to be 7-3. And they're going to make the playoffs. You could make an argument that nothing really matters between now and January because one, they're going to make the playoffs, and the season is essentially going to be defined by how they do in the playoffs. Although I would sure love a division title in between that time. That would do a lot to help maybe not winning a playoff game if that's in the cards. Soften the blow if you won the division, right?
It would. And I think, oh, man, I feel like the last thing I'd want to have happen is, well, no, I mean, if the Lions don't win the division, right, you maybe assume that San Francisco is the second seed.
Yeah, probably.
That would mean the third and fourth seed would be, you're looking at NFC South winner, and the NFC North winner. Then the Lions would probably fit in at 5, right?
I mean, if they fall all the way out of the division lead, who knows how far they fall? They could fall all the way to 7 theoretically.
In theory, right?
Below the Cowboys and the Seahawks, that's possible.
It's true. It's true.
Going to San Francisco would not be great.
That'd be terrible. That would truly feel like Lucy pulling the football out from underneath you.
Yes, no question. It would not feel great. But maybe they win that game and it does feel great. We got $200 donations, which means we are 122-ish away. Luxtables wants to redeem an egg crack later. Do you have a person you want that for, Luxtable, or is that going to be determined at a different time?
Just say Chris. Make it Chris.
My cheat sheet here is going to need to be expanded. And Woodchuck Hunter was the other person who donated $100 who says they want 2 mutes instead. And according to my sheet, Woodchuck Hunter, you already had 1.
Come on, Dees. Dees nuts.
Nick! $100 donated, says, how is WAP not winning this poll by $1 million? We haven't checked in on the poll in a while, and I would like to bring it up because, I'll be honest, I'm just as surprised as you are. I thought that was going to run away with it, and it's not even winning last I checked. Yeah, I touched myself by the Divinals out in a good, healthy, about $1,100 lead. Barbie Girl is in number 2. Take on Me is number 3, and WAP is 4. Trailing way by. I kind of feel like there's something happening here, and then when we get to the charity, the full on marathon stream, like everyone is just gonna like slam WAP, and then I'm gonna have to sing it. Like they're lulling me into a false sense of security here. Not that singing I Touch Myself is gonna be great, but I can get into it like I'm, Austin Powers in that scene.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen, everybody. We want Jeremy to be rapping Cardi B lyrics. That's what we want. That's what we need.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever. You want to do 3? Okay, you have 3 total mutes. How many eggs does Chris currently have in queue?
Not enough.
I don't know if anyone has. I don't think we've specifically okay. Here's what I have. Sweaty Doofus has an egg. MNUFC has 3 eggs. Luxtables has an egg. GT Sam has 5 eggs. I think there's one that's for me. One from Dreskel, and I think that's it. I don't have... Oh, and Silver Rush. Silver Rush has 1 as well. But none of these I have connected to a person's head yet, other than me. And I don't remember who it's from. It just says Jeremy 1 egg. What's the kid? No, I am not singing. No. Yeah. Nope. I am not singing that Kid Rock song. Absolutely not. You will never see me on air saying those words, or off air, to be clear. I will never be saying the words that he says in those songs. In that song. In Osmosis Jones.
Oh, man.
Prime Frog Bark. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, that's what I think of. MNUFC, all of mine go to Chris. So you have 3 for Chris. I was surprised by how down he was about it. He just needed to get eggs in the house. But guys, we just need $22.31 to get us over the hump for a discounted spin on the Wheel of Pain.
Come on,
Australia, that's what I heard.
And there it is. $25 from an anonymous donator. Did vote for WAP, by the way, in case you're wondering. That will get us to $35,500. Not quite on track for $1,000 a day, but man, we are at a really, really good pace right now to take down our last year's total. And I don't know if we're gonna get to 50K this year. That would be something. My hair thanks you if we don't get there, because I don't want to shave my head. I'd be more. I won't say I'd be more than happy to get a tattoo. I mean, I've gone 37 years of my life without even thinking about getting a tattoo because I've had no interest in it.
Not even a thought, huh? Not even a passing.
I mean, not really. Just like a passing thought. I'm like, no, that's not for me. I don't need a Lions logo or a Red Wings logo or whatever phrase in Japanese or whatever. No, that stuff really appeals to me. But because I enjoy Movember so much, because it matters so much to me, I'd be a little bit open to like a POD Movember logo somewhere.
I'll tell you right now that if we're at like 49,000, I'm donating $1,000 for you to shave your head.
Don't say that. Don't say that for yourself, and don't say that for me. Last year we raised, in terms of just the online portion of it, not the auction, $25,007. How do you say that?
$25,007.
Why am I? That was a weird lapse. And then we raised another about $3,000 through our auction. And by the way, I should mention, I got the signed footballs today.
Nice.
Who wants to know who they are? I'm going to tell you anyways.
Can I guess?
What? Sure.
I'll take one guess.
Okay.
Was one of the footballs signed by every wide receiver that was taken ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown?
No. We didn't get an Amon-Ra this year. I thought about asking in particular for an Amon-Ra, but we didn't get an Amon-Ra this year, but I think most people are going to be pretty darn happy with our 2 options, including one repeat from last year. I actually don't remember who the second one was last year.
Okay, so it's not a Kerryon Johnson autograph football.
It's not. Are you still guessing, or am I?
No, I'm done.
Aiden Hutchinson again.
Okay, that's good.
Which I'm certain was the highest that we got last year. I don't remember who the other one was, but this year it's Jared Goff. So,
ooh,
yeah.
Jared
Yes,
Goff. He's the quarterback.
He is the quarterback. It was Charles Harris last year, which seems weird in hindsight. But yeah, two big ones. So if you want, I can pull them in right now and show you. But Aiden Hutchinson, Jared Goff, those will be on auction. I'm going to try to get them up this weekend. We'll also start the auction on Mina Kimes' one-of-a-kind painting of Penei Sewell. We'll also get Dan Pask's awesome, huge painting of a lion with the new helmet. What else? We're going to be auctioning off some trading cards as well, courtesy of our good friend over at the Detroit News, Nolan Bianchi. He offered up some really cool Lions cards. And I think there's other stuff. I can't remember what exactly, but it's going to be a good time.
Great time. Let's spin that wheel, dog.
That's a good idea. And here, here's what I'll offer, chat. If you want, I'm offering to take Bean Boozled off. Do we want Bean Boozled off, or do we want a chance at Bean Boozle redemption? I'm up for it either way.
Jerry Jacobs.
He tried it. Boy,
No, he's quote tweeting somebody else that
tried it.
Said they're doing it, and he's like, "This is not a."
Dan wants it off. Nick doesn't like it either. Fine, Bean Boozled. Nah, I don't. You guys can come to a decision as a chat. We don't need to do a poll. It sounds like we should take it off. I'm going to take it off. We'll bring you back, Bean Boozled, another time. So that leaves the options: pickle juice, 10 up downs again, eat a bug, a spoon of wasabi, or Ryan's singing of Gridiron Heroes with a bunch of saltines in his mouth. That's the one I'm hoping for. Not just because I won't have to do that one, but it seems funny.
I'm also willing to in future streams. I think I'll do the Will Levis mayo in the coffee.
Oh,
just because he kind of came in and took a job away from a very deserving quarterback, so that feels Wheel of Pain-ish.
That's emotional and physical pain right there.
Yeah, we can. Maybe that'll go on the extreme wheel, but yeah,
I like it. Or maybe it's a marathon only Wheel of Pain.
Ooh, exclusive.
All right, here we go.
All right,
spinning it in 3, 2, 1. Oh, we were so close to the Saltine Serenade.
Oh no. What did it end up?
No. Spoon of wasabi again.
I don't have wasabi, but I'll do a spoonful of something I can go find in my fridge. So,
all right, let's go on an adventure in our fridges. We're going to collectively do this one since you guys raised extra $500.
Chat, keep yourself busy.
Yeah, chat, behave. Don't
donate more money.
You can do that too. I don't know. Don't do bad things. Thanks, Nick. Did you ban everybody? No one donated. Nick, you have to ban everybody. I'm sorry. That's how it works. Start with YouTube. Just kidding. Just kidding, YouTube. Relax. I love you guys. Hold on. I'm going to go full screen here for a second so that you guys can see. Where's the signature? Oh, there it is. You can see a little 97 there. It's backwards, so if it looks like it's like that. Although now it is still backwards. Aiden Hutchinson signed football, and look, it's all official. Wilson official football. Zazu, that's not for you. And then, oh wait, no, that was Jared Goff. that was the Goff. Good call. Because that is very clearly a 97, the Aiden Hutchinson Lions football. All right, you got to get off Zazu. Although there was a Zazu. I don't keep the footballs in my fridge. They were just both in the other room. That's not going to stand up. That's going to fall over. Maybe not. All right, you want to say hi to the people? You can say hi to the people. You can say hi to the people. No! I knew it was going to fall down. Yeah, 79 is not Dan Skipper. 79 is Kaminsky. 70 is Dan Skipper. But I would never. By the way, Kick Puncher, I don't think I thank you for your 4-month subscription. When's the marathon stream again? Thanks for all you do to feed my Lions addiction. It will be December 4th? It's either December 4th or 5th, whatever that Tuesday is. It'll be something like an 8 to midnight type of situation. So 16 hours. Is that right? For the wheel. Shower Tech special ingredient panic powder? What does that mean? I don't want to click on that. I'm scared. Missed it if you talked about any concern about long-term probability with Frank's back injury. I get the sense today was mostly rest more than anything. So I'm not concerned yet. Tomorrow will be a little bit more telling. Is that some Jarlic?
You're back. Yeah, dude. This is the only thing I could find that seems like it wouldn't be great.
Some Jarlic? Some TikToker always calls it Jarlic, and it makes me smile. So I started calling it Jarlic. It's derogatory. It's Chef Reactions. Do you know Chef Reactions, anybody? Ew. I got a little bit on the rim, and now it's like protruding. It's kind of gross. Okay, Troy Barnes knows Chef Reactions. Herbs. I don't know why. Like, it's kind of... I like him, but the videos are too long, and all it is him reacting to, like, stunt foods. Like, people who are very clearly trying to just get attention with disgusting things. I think I don't know if he's from Michigan, but he has some sort of ties to Michigan or Detroit. We have not said whether Jonah is a play or not. I would say... Oh, you already did it.
No, I just tried a little bit. Because I have a... full spoon there.
That is a heap of a spoon.
Yeah. A lot of Jarlic, as Jeremy said.
Jesus, that is a lot.
It is. Just spilled on my computer. So that'll be cool. I'll have garlic hands for a week.
No one can see it because of the background.
Oh, this is not good.
Look how dirty my desk is, everybody. All these Snickers wrappers.
Snickers wrapper.
Yeah. Discounted Halloween Snickers. Why would I not have that?
Yeah, why would you not? I should have just cleaned this up instead of spreading it all over my keyboard.
Probably. I do not currently own yoga pants, which I think is that what the 15K reward is? Is that the next reward? I don't remember.
Yes, it is.
What's after that?
So I saw Jill kept on saying however many more, for Jeremy to become a fashion icon. All right. I honestly would rather be doing the wasabi.
All right. Cheers it up, buddy. For charity. Good job, everybody.
Vampires suck. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I can't do it. I can't keep eating out his bad. Well, real bad.
Just swallow it. Just swallow it. Stop chewing it.
I haven't even do it.
Don't throw up.
I don't want...
Please don't throw up on screen.
Oh, mm-mm. I can't swallow it. I just got...
Oh, no.
I have to do it, though. Mm-mm.
It was a lot of garlic. What's going to happen here?
Well, no. I can't bail.
You can't bail.
bail.
All right. Grit. Come on, Ryan. Oh! Yeah! Grit, 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 grit.
It's empty. Oh my God.
You're going to be tasting that for weeks.
Dude, there's nothing quite like a ball of garlic that I can just feel traveling down. That was awful. That was the worst decision. Do you know when I first picked up? I was like, "Ooh, I'll do a spoonful of Grey Poupon."
You could have gotten away with that too. Like it wouldn't have been as exciting, but people would be like, "All right, fine." Like if you do a heaping...
That's terrible. I challenge you to do this.
No, I would never agree to that. Oops, wrong one.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah, dude. Indigo is right. Like if I burp later, I might puke. That sucks.
Did I never got your right name on there. That's not it either. Who keeps changing the titles of these things? There's 3 things that are named Ryan Matthews on my screen, and none of them are Ryan. Chris, stop messing with my sources. There he is.
Oh.
Yeah, go kiss your wife now. Oh, God, that is not settling well.
Oh, man.
Can't wait to do a supercut of the punishments while Arms of the Angel plays in the background. If someone did that, I would be... I mean, that'd be a great promo for next year.
I mean, that would go in all the promo material for next year's for sure.
Well, guys, that was a stream. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you, of course, just for hanging out with us and watching, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch. If you can't give to Movember, being here helps. It makes us more visible to people both on YouTube and Twitch, and more eyes means more potential donors. So thank you all for the support, for the charity drives, for the support for the site, for the podcast, for the YouTube. And I feel like I always need to mention this because the more people I talk to about it, they're like, oh, I had no idea. We have a bunch of original content on YouTube. Stuff that doesn't go up on the site, stuff that we don't do here on Twitch. Miko's doing... Oh, God, I wish I hadn't burped. Miko's doing an amazing job over there with a bunch of original content. Morgan and him break down film in a really, really cool way. They just got new software that makes it look even better. So if you're a visual guy, it looks better than... I don't want to say our outlook is janky. It's not. But it's scrapped together. Miko knows how to do a lot of that sort of stuff. So if you don't subscribe to us on YouTube already, I know Twitch, you guys you think this is a battle between two things, but but YouTube has stuff that we can't offer here. Just like Twitch has stuff that YouTube doesn't have. They don't have channel points over on YouTube. They don't have, I don't know, other stuff. They don't have as many emotes as we have on Twitch. But there's a bunch of awesome content over there. So exclamation point YouTube if you're in Twitch. Make sure you ring that bell or whatever they say over on YouTube. I don't know. But do that stuff. My raid button's not working again. And if you're on YouTube, if you want to get in on some of the fun here where you can see my dog, you can make me put on a Macho Man Randy Savage costume. You can only do that if you're over on Twitch. So I would suggest each of you coming together to do stuff. And I think I read something on Twitch that they're going to start giving you more channel points if you string together views. So if you watch all of our streams, if you watch the POD cast, then the midweek mailbag, then whatever this is called, First Bite, and the Man Sim, like as you build a streak of watching us, I don't know how long you have to watch, you get more channel points. So you want more channel points that you can bet on during the Man Sim, or that you can redeem to highlight a message, so to speak, as Prime Frog just did, that says I used to only listen to you guys on Audacity and never realized how much fun I was missing out on. I try to express that as much as possible on the actual podcast itself. Brushing his teeth. Love it. But yeah, there's so much more to the live experience than just listening to the podcast. It's literally like double the content. Sometimes you're just hanging out on YouTube and it's like, hey, there's Jeremy. Yeah. You doing okay over there, buddy? Cool. But anyways,
I'm okay.
That's my pitch for both Twitch and YouTube, because you really should be subscribed to both to get the full benefit of what we do and the full load of what we do. All right. But let's get out of here. Where do you guys want me to send you on Twitch? Do you guys want to go visit Bridget, who's, of course, live for Thursday Night Football? Do you guys want me to send you straight to a Thursday Night Football stream here on Twitch? Which, by the way, if you're on YouTube, it's another benefit of Twitch is they own Amazon, or Amazon owns them. You can literally watch Monday or Thursday Night Football on Twitch, which, again, people never know. They're like, oh, I don't want to be a Prime sub. I don't want to have to watch it on my TV. Go to Twitch, twitch.tv/Prime Video, and you can just watch the game there for free. You don't have to be logged into Twitch. I'm pretty sure. It's free. Anyways, do we have an opinion, Twitch, on where you want me to send you? Man Sim should be at the normal time, yes, 10 o'clock a.m. on Saturday. No one has said anything. Amazon Prime is the best subscription. I mean, if you buy stuff, yeah, but like the movies and stuff aren't very good. All right.
Maisel is pretty good, but yeah.
We're just gonna raid Bridget again because we feel bad that she's a Chargers fan. And so that's what we're gonna do. we're gonna give her our pity for one more time. Bridget. She's also with someone else. I don't know who that is. Streaming together. I can't tell. Oh, Jedi Modi. Don't know who that is. But anyways, go over there. Give her... She banned me? No, she didn't. Stop it. Be nice. You can tease her a little bit. If you're a sub of there, throw in a bunch of daddy goffs in her chat, because that's one of her emotes, which is funny. Too late. You guys are going over to Bridget Case. Pull up on a second stream, twitch.tv/Prime Video, or twitch.tv/Prime Vision, the Prime Vision broadcast, which Jeff Berckes was. Okay, that's gross. Stop spitting everywhere. Anyways, thank you all for watching. We will see you Saturday morning, 10 a.m. for the Madden Sim. We're going to adjust some sliders and see if we can actually get the Lions to win this damn thing. But until then, I just swore I'll add one more to the swear to jar. We'll see you guys soon.
His actual